What is up, guys, and welcome to a Game Maker Studio and or just regular Game Maker tutorial. Now in this tutorial we're having a look at how to create the Bouncy Movement Engine for maze games. And the Bouncy Movement Engine is basically just an engine that I sort of made and I just named it. And basically what it allows you to do is to move a character object inside a maze game, with both friction, acceleration, and also bouncy walls, so you can bounce around the room. So it's really fun. So what we're going to do today is start off by, of course, making our two sprites. And I have the sprite character and the sprite wall. And guys, you might just want to go ahead and pause the video and create those two now, but I just created them then because I'm sure all of you guys know how to create a sprite. So next thing we want to have a look at is create an object. And a little tip for you guys is, if you want to really quickly create an object, you can just go Shift-Control-O. So we're going to name this object obby_wall. And the reason I'm doing the wall object first is just because it's easy and there won't be any events, so we may as well just make it now. So inside the wall object, we're going to have to always set it to solid because it is a wall. We want it to be solid. So that's all well and good. Next thing we want to have a look at is creating a character object. And likewise with the way we named the sprite, we're also going to name it in that way. So we're going to go obby_char. And we are, of course, going to set it to sprite char. And we do not want this to be solid. It doesn't have to be solid. Now, what we're going to have to do is start off by, in our create event, we're going to have something called a max speed variable. And that's the fastest you want your character to ever go. So what I'm going to do, inside the create event, I'm going to go to control, and I'm going to drag in the variable. This is set variable, this action. Now, of course, guys, if you know how to use GML and you would prefer coding, go right ahead and use that. It's probably a lot faster. So we're going to start off by setting the variable max_speed equal to 10. And of course, you guys can name this whatever you want. You can set it to whatever value you want. It really does not matter. So basically, this is the maximum speed we want our character to go. So max speed is now equivalent to 10. Next thing we want to have a look at is creating a simple up arrow key event. We're just going to start with the up arrow key. So we're going to go keyboard and we're going to go to up. Now what we want to do is basically how we're going to check this is we're going to go by using the check variable. So we're going to check whether our current speed, so that's the built-in variable speed, is less than the variable max speed. So we are now checking whether our current speed is less than our maximum speed. And if that condition is true, we basically want to execute the next action. And what we're going to have the next action is going to be under move. And we're going to set vertical speed by -0.1. And it always has to be relative to what your current speed is. So what this will basically do is increase the vertical speed by -0.1. So that means you're going in an upward direction. So once you've done that, we now want to test that by making a small little room. Now inside our objects, we basically just want to add the character object. So now when we run this, hopefully we don't get any errors. When we run this, what we can see is when we press the up arrow key, we start accelerating. Now, it's sort of tough to see, but you can't actually see your max speeds yet because I don't think we've reached that threshold. Now, what if we change the max speed in our creation event to something like 3? You'll see our movement get capped. You'll see our movement speed get capped. So, after this all buffers, basically, you see how we stop there? We can't go any faster. So that's just proof that the max speed variable is all working correctly. It's really great to test your programs. It really helps you out. So now we're just going to leave it to default, which is indeed 10. Now guys, that's basically the way we're going to be programming all the movement events. So I'm just going to go around and duplicating all the events. Next thing we want to have a look at is a down, and of course it's the exact same. You just need to flip the values around. And basically all you have to do is set the vertical speed to 0.1. So that basically adds 0.1 to your current speed if it is less than the max speed variable. Now the next thing we want to do is actually duplicate the down arrow key event, and we want to put it down as left. But instead of having vertical speed, we now want to set it as horizontal speed. So we want to delete that, and we now want to set it as the horizontal speed. And what we want to do is, because we're going left, that is indeed a negative horizontal speed. So we want to go negative 0.1. And of course we do want it to be relative. Now, after that, we want to duplicate this event once again with keyboard right. And we want to now set the horizontal speed to positive 0.1. So that is all for the movement programming. Now let's have a look at running the program once again and see what we get out of it. See, as you can see, you can move around really seamlessly and it's really fun. But wait a sec, look at that, I've let go of the keys and I'm still flying about. Wait, what about friction? Let's add some friction into this. So now what we want to do in the creation event, we want to go to move and we want to set the friction equal to, sorry, not gravity. Well, basically what we want to do is set the friction equal to, we want to set the variable friction equal to, let's say I will go 3. Wait, no, not 3, 0.03. Let's hope that works correctly. You have to play around and find whichever one suits your specifications. So, as it is loading, we now see when we let go of the keys, we will eventually stop. Now, I'm actually going to increase this to 0.05 just because I think that's probably just a better value. But anyway, it's completely your preference. It doesn't matter. It's completely your choice what you do. So the next thing and the final thing for today is colliding with the wall object. And basically, it's actually extremely simple. All we do is we go add event, collision with obby wall, and basically all we do is we use the bounce event. So that is bounce, and we want it to be precisely against solid objects. So let's run this. And sorry guys, sorry about that, I forgot to put walls in. Just as I say, get ready to use the wall objects, I forget, sorry about that. But anyway, as you can see, we're just going to create the walls. I might slip a few times, sorry about that. I'm trying to do it as perfectly as I can. Oh my god. And now let's just go ahead and delete the ones we don't need around the room. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Alright. Anyway, let's give that a run. Now, when we run this program, when we collide with a wall, you see we bounce about. Pretty cool, isn't it? And what you can actually try and do is you can try to sort of sit next to a wall. And what's really great is it deflects your speed. So if you go there and then you start moving, as you can see the bounces get bigger and bigger, simulating what it would actually be like in real life, which is sort of cool. So it's actually quite a cool engine. It's quite fun bouncing around, and it can be sort of a little bit of fun to watch your character bounce around and have a different aspect on actually controlling a character inside maze games. And guys, something else I want to show you is if you want to add something even more is when you collide with the wall object, what you can actually do is you can do a basic checking. Firstly, you can what you want to do is before you bounce, you want to check if the variable speed is less than a value such as 2.5. Wait, no, sorry, greater than a value such as 2.5. What you can do is you can do something such as you can set the relative speed variable to negative, or let's just say 0.5. So if it's greater than 2.5, you actually end up losing some speed, like sort of even more towards like what it would be like in real life. You end up losing some speed when you collide with a wall. So if we're going quite fast, as you can see when we collide with the walls, I'm not really sure if you guys can see it, but we will end up losing quite a bit of speed. If I just go ahead and play around with the values one more time, let's go when colliding with object wall. Let's set the current speed to negative 2.5. Actually, we'll just do 1.5. That's probably better. See, as you can see, there's a lot of debugging and playing around with your code. So once this gets loaded up, alright, when we collide with a wall, we should see quite a drastic, yeah, can you see how you start stopping? You literally stop on collision with a wall. And what's really great is if you're going, it doesn't fully stop you because it only checks how fast you actually are going. But as you can see, you can see that the wall really does take quite a lot of speed off you. So anyway guys, that's it for this bouncy movement tutorial. Now I really hope you enjoyed this, and I really hope you can use it in your programs, because I know I've really enjoyed making some games with this engine, and it's really fun to play around with, and it's really cool to learn how to control it. And it's just a whole lot of fun. It's a really great take on a maze game rather than this traditional maze movement. So anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll be sure to see each and every one of you guys next time.